Welcome to the Aussie Grappling Girls podcast,
where we talk all things female jiu-jitsu.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Hannah.
And together, we're Joe Hannah.
KO.
Yeah, TKO.
Yeah, TKO by the mic.
My friend messaged me the other day. She was like, can you explain this to me? And she sent me like a one of those Facebook post thingos that was just like, got tech fouled off for swearing at the ref. She's like, and I was like, she asked me to explain tech foul? And I was like, what? Like technical foul? Like, you know, when you do something that's like not kosher and you like, you know, you didn't do anything physically harmful, but you fouled. I was like, how do I explain a tech foul? How do you not know what it is?
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But you don't know what you don't know. So
that's true.
She knows now.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, all right. Weird.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But it is kind of weird explaining stuff sometimes.
Sometimes you don't know how to explain things.
Yeah. Like
you know it, but you don't know how to explain it. Or it's like...
That's me 80% of my life.
How do I possibly define this? I don't know. It's just, yeah.
That's me teaching. I can do it, but don't ask me to explain it. You just do it, okay? It's just how you do it.
Yeah. True. I felt pretty good teaching recently, actually. I was a bit worried about it.
Explaining stuff. You'd be way better than me.
Yeah. I don't know. It was more just like worried that my tech would be like either like not legit or I don't know. I just choose the wrong things because you know when. Well, I know when in the past when I've done teaching, I've thought that what I was going to bring was going to be acceptable for that lever. Acceptable.
That lever? Haha, you fucked up, not me.
Pull the lever, Kronk. It's like that thing. It's like, pull the lever, Kronk. Wrong lever. That's exactly what that made me think of. Oh, wrong lever. Holy fuck. What was I saying? Wrong level. So
teaching at...
Yeah. So it's like the wrong level for those people. And so like you think it's going to be okay, but it's actually the wrong level. And they're sitting there like scratching their heads and you're like, this was a bad choice. But it hasn't happened yet in jiu-jitsu. It's happened like when I taught, you know, in French and that sort of thing.
Okay.
But like here, I was like worried that whatever I'd chosen to do was going to be like too much for like, you know, the newer guys and that sort of thing and just not relevant, but it's all been pretty good.
I think everyone has their own style of doing things. I'm very much feel the movement. Don't get caught up on the technical side of things just yet because as you know, my thing is all about timing and understanding the timing of something. And if you can't get yourself in a position, you can't fix the timing.
Yeah.
So you need to understand the movement. So everything that I teach, I think, is like so dumbed down basic.
Yeah.
And then when people try and correct stuff, you're like, at the moment, I don't want that.
Yeah.
It's like you're taking away from my points that I feel are important.
Yeah. I usually just think about the technique from my perspective from like usually like a lot of the stuff I've done that I've taught is 90% of it is stuff that I've done or worked or, you know, had experience with. And then, like, I'll add on something at the end that is new to me too. So then I learn. So, like, I've been adding in, like, a sweep at the end that's, like, completely new to me. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go, guys. Like, so, I know the basic mechanics of it, but I don't know if it's going to work. We'll just see what happens. But they've all worked and been fine. But it's, like, that nervous sort of thing. You're like, what if I completely fuck this up? I just, like, have to stipulate to them. I'm like, this may not work, and it's completely new to me, too. I'm not going to act like I'm a professional on it, because I'm totally not. But, you know, the stuff that I teach, that's, like, most of the class is stuff that I actually use.
I do that as well. And then you have this moment of clarity that everything comes together and you're like, oh, that actually worked.
It's legit. Cool.
And then you do it 3 more times just because people ask questions and you're like, I'll do it again.
and then you're like, and this is why this works because you do this and this. And like suddenly you have complete understanding of the technique.
But the first one you're like, my mind is blowing.
Yeah. But like I did the one I did last week was all going through basically the half guard stuff I was doing at the comp. And,
Yeah, okay.
you know, it was like, I was like, dude, everybody, this is tried and tested. I literally lapel choked 2 people with this, and I did this exact same thing in the comp and was successful with it. So, like, it's a lot of the stuff, it's like based on my jiu-jitsu, like what I do. Even if it's not necessarily like legit technique, it's sort of like what I do.
Is
and
legit
like
technique.
well, yeah, but you know, but that's where sometimes I worry that it's not, you know, like what I'm doing. I have a misunderstanding myself, and so I'm passing on the wrong information. But then I go, but it's working for me. So,
but in saying that, there's so many things that are a slight variation.
Yeah,
just because one person says it's supposed to be done that way.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily right for someone else, and it's take everything with a grain of salt and develop it yourself.
Yeah, and you know, this was the advice that I got from one of my teachers, was that like anything you learn or like hear is between like 5 and 95% bullshit, and you have to decide individually where that tech or whatever you learnt lies on that scale of bullshit. Because for one person it might be like 95% bullshit, where it's like, they're just like, I'm never going to fucking use this. This is ridiculous. And then, like, the other person, it's like, there's a little bit of it that's bullshit, but for the most part, it's legit. Like, it's a pretty solid technique. But that's because it suits their body type or their attributes and that sort of stuff.
Other things are like, well, this works on the white belts. This works on the blue belts. This doesn't work on anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, the tech that you show, I go to them, then I'm like, okay, so rep it. Put a couple of little roadblocks in the way, or, you know, feel it out for a bit and see how legit it is to you. Because it might not be right for you, it might not work, or, you know, you might just be like, this is shit. And I go, well, fair enough. That's okay. I'm not offended. But, you know, that's where I think everyone needs to be critical with what they learn in BJJ, because I think in some schools, it's like, whatever you learn from the teacher is like, that's preach. Like,
that's gospel.
That's, you know, that's how it's done, exactly that way. And, you know, you have to do it that way, and that's it. Whereas, like, you kind of have to actually go, even because we cross train a lot.
Yeah.
So we go from here, there, everywhere. And it's really good because you get different perspectives and stuff. And you go, that tiny little tweak actually works better for me than the original way that I learned it. Or you learn a tweak and you're like, no, I don't like that. And you're just like, already got my way that I do that. So you're like, shut the fuck up. You're like, I appreciate the advice, but you're talking shit.
I really enjoy, like, at the moment, I've just been looking at sweeps as well. And just finding that where it works and where it doesn't. And if someone is doing, like, not responding to you correctly,
and fucks you up.
And recognizing that, though, because then you learn how to set the sweep up correctly, like in all aspects of it. So it's either you set it up because they act this way, or you bail on it because
they're not having the right reaction.
So you're going, if you're automatically going to something else, then that's good. And learning the extra part of some, like, coach giving you, you need to learn this. And repping it with a new person each time that you go in, so then you don't have the same response every time. That has just been so cool. I'm just like, I haven't got it yet. But I can see it's coming.
It's going to develop.
Like, and I'm really excited for it. It's so cool. It's like these little bits and pieces that are finally coming together. And the add-ons that you're like, oh, I can do this from here. I can do this from here. I can do that from here. Can't do that. Thought I could. Can't.
That's what I was talking about the other night as well, was, you know, talking about when you get to a level and you have these positions or situations and you have these instant sort of things that you can branch off from there from. So you have paths that you go, I can either react this way, or this way. And you choose one of them instantly with that. Or you just go with it. Your body chooses for you. I don't know. And then, like, so you just end up ricocheting off these different paths. You choose something, they choose something, and you just end up in this nice little, like,
flow.
And it ends up being really cool. And you have, like you were saying, like with the sweeps and stuff, sometimes you're waiting for a certain reaction, but they don't have it. So immediately you go, all right, well, I'm going to change something else. But like,
It's
there's
only
something...
taken me now though to learn that that's a thing.
Well, because so much of like the initial part of the journey is because your knowledge is limited or whatever, and because you really want a certain thing, you get tunnel vision on something, and you can't see something that's right in front of you because you're trying
That still happens to
you're
me
trying
all
to
the
carve
time.
this path that's like, you're like, this is gonna happen, and I'm gonna make this happen. This is what I want, and you're like, bro, it's not gonna happen. You're like, just stop. That's, I think, last week how you talking to me about like that glazed over look I have.
Yeah.
It's usually when people are trying to force something and I'm like, bro, it's not gonna happen. And I have like certain safe zones that I put my body in. Like, I use combat base a lot.
Yeah.
And I just sit there and because I'm like, if I've got my knee up, no one can triangle me or anything in my armbar. And I'm like, I'm not in danger, but like, it's like my little safe zone. I'm like, yeah, no, you got nothing. So anyway, I had to explain that to some people recently. It was funny.
Were they getting offended at your face?
Nah, no. I don't think anyone actually pays attention to that other than you. You're just so aware of it now, like, because but no one else really notices. Actually, no, I was doing closed eye rolling the other day, and one of the new guys was just like, at the end, he was like, does everyone roll closed eyes? Like, is that a thing? And I was like, oh, no, that was just me being an arsehole. I was like, I was just feeling stuff out rather than looking and paying attention. Like, it's just, sometimes it's the night for a closed eye roll.
I find so much stuff closing my eyes.
Yeah.
It got me... My first competition, I got out of a sticky situation because I started to panic. And I was like, just close my eyes.
Go to your safe space.
And then I got out. Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good. Closed eye rolling's pretty cool, actually. I haven't done it for a while. That was like the first time I've done it in a long time. And I was like,
we should do that more often. Yeah. I'm going to do that in the warm-up next time I teach.
It's a good idea.
Haha.
And then like also the guard passing with no hands. Like, you can only have closed fists. Yeah, that's also a good one.
I enjoy that.
Well warmed up.
It does. And it makes everyone take that... brute strength out and have to be more technical.
Yeah. And it sort of limits certain guard passes and stuff, especially if you're in gi. Because a lot of people I know, especially like a lot of white belts I know, love the one where you just like grab the legs and pin them down.
Yeah.
Especially like as a girl where they're just like, and they just hold your legs down. You're like, I cannot move. You feel like that awkward like fish mermaid sort of pose where you're like, your legs are just stuck. You look like an idiot.
I look like an
and
idiot
you're like,
anyway.
all right. You're like, all right, just pass. Come on. I don't even care. I'm just like, just pass. So then I can get out of this and get on your back or something. I don't know.
I'll deal with this later.
Yeah. At the time, you're just like, okay, you can have it.
Yeah, that frustrates me so much when brute strength goes into it. Except I've noticed timing. I know certain people do certain things who use brute strength.
Yeah.
And I've been able to keep like 2 steps ahead. And it's just like, I know...
You just redirect that brute strength in a good way.
I mean, they could like super Hulk out of it, but they don't.
Yeah.
But there's
So
a few things that I have been like just getting and just staying on top. Like it's been like a knife's edge, but I've still managed to stay.
The whole roll, you just like, oh my god.
It's so satisfying. It's good. I like those little things.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that I can keep myself safe better. Because before, how do I put this? I would get hurt more because I couldn't get myself out of the way, or I would try and move them, therefore I would pull something.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't keep ahead of everyone because everyone was always bigger and stronger and blah, blah, blah. Whinge. Now I feel like, I can control.
Awesome.
No, I'm not awesome by any stretch of the imagination.
Wow.
But I can just
keep
keep
you were about
ahead.
to just toot your own horn and I was just, I was like, yeah, go, keep going. No, but anyways, sorry.
But
Continue.
it just like, it's good. I feel a lot safer now because I have the ability to see what people are doing sometimes.
Yeah.
And then other times I can see it and I can't do fuck all about it. Don't you love that? When you're just like, oh, I'm about to get squished.
Yeah. It's like any situation in life when you're like, like something bad's gonna happen, but you can't stop it. You're like, it's coming. And you're like, I just can't stop this.
That moment you realized you fucked up.
Yeah. Exactly. No, what was I gonna say? Oh, I completely forgot. I was just about to say like word blank.
I hate that. It fall out your ears.
Something like that. Oh. Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say I've been feeling really good with my rolls this week. And like last week as well. I was like feeling hell on top of the world. But like the last couple of months, it's like literally been like almost week for week or like every fortnight. It's like have a good fortnight and have a bad fortnight. I'm like start feeling good, then I feel like shit again. I feel like good, feel like shit again. It's like this massive roller coaster ride. It's pissing me off. I'm like, fuck. Like, can we just have something like? Can I just feel shit for a for a bit?
Yeah.
Like let's just feel shit for a little while. It's productive.
Let's plateau.
Yeah, because it's productive in the end.
It is.
But, I'm like really up and down at the moment. But I also feel like a bit like my injuries are coming back a bit as well.
Does that mean you've been training too hard or your body's just not coping?
I wondered about that, like, because I don't think I've trained like any more than I normally would.
But do you think though that you should be going back to weights and rehabbing in quotation marks because you need to strengthen obviously a muscle is doing more work than another one?
I think it was actually that I had like 2 or 3 weeks off from not doing weights, and then I went back to doing weights, and that was the day I was feeling super strong.
Oh,
and
I remember you saying that.
I was like feeling so strong, and I was doing the weights, and that was like the first time I'd done it in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
But I was feeling really good, and I could lift heavier than I had previously.
Yeah.
But when you've had time off and then you go back to doing weights, you're actually supposed to start lighter again and like sort of build up back into it. Even if it's a short amount of time, you still don't go your full.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I went heavier, but I was feeling good for it. And then because I was doing like deadlifts and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think my knees just sort of cracked the shits
like
at
it?
me. But at the time, I didn't notice. But it's like ever since then, over the last 2 weeks, like my knees have just been getting really swollen and like crunchy again, and it's pissing me off.
Isn't it funny how you think you're doing the right thing for your body at the time, and then it just takes that one decision that you go too far, and then it sets you back for another 6 weeks because essentially everything's in 6 week little increments, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're rehabbing or getting, if you're looking after it, or you can be like me and just be like, it's fine. I have a pain threshold that is through the roof.
Yeah.
So I can deal with a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't. And then 6 weeks turns into 12, turns into 18. And then you find that you've had half a year of not being great. You felt shit and you've had to force yourself to train and you think you're doing the right thing, but in actual fact, you're not. Injuries are such a... I find that they're a mind game for me.
Yeah. They're your, like, kryptonite, sort of. Well, not your kryptonite. They're, like, your, I don't know, your identifying feature of your BJJ journey, I suppose. Yeah. Is, like, overcoming injury, going through it, overcoming it, and that sort of thing.
The good thing, I get really good at rehabbing my body. There's, like, the plus side makes you patient, and it's, like, all the positive things. Now I kind of look back on everything that I've done to get to my body to like this stage now. Yeah. And you kind of go, wow, that was like a hard lesson to learn, but it's made all the difference. It's made me stop. Like in a day, like if I've worked hard, I come home, I'm physically exhausted or mentally exhausted. And I feel like I can't train and I'm not working towards something like a competition or something along those lines.
Do you find that, because I was thinking about this, on days when you feel like mentally exhausted and you go and train anyway, when you kind of wanted to come home and just rest, do you find that your body doesn't perform as well and is more prone to injury from the mental side of it? Like as, like stemming down from your head go into your body, so your head's not in the game, and so your body's kind of actually a bit out of it too, even though you're physically in good form. If you're not using your head properly, or do you reckon that's just? Because I suppose it's different for everyone.
I probably don't find... I think my body fails me before my mind does.
Yeah.
I think that I actually, once I get to training, do my warm-up and stop being a sook, I'm fine when it's just been mentally tired.
Yeah.
What usually does it for me is when I've just like overstretched or something, a muscle, and then I think I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then I go and train on it. That to me is, and then I'll go and do something that I normally would do, and then that creates a bigger problem.
Yeah.
So I find that I just like pulled a hammy, and it being cold weather, it just feels a lot tighter at the moment. So I've chosen to only train a couple of times, actually only once this week, because of the cold weather, and that's when I injure myself. Is like when it's cold, because I feel everything's like angry and doesn't do what it's told.
Yeah. So if you rather, it's better to work through the mental blocks, but not those little physical sort of
for
stuff.
me.
Yeah.
For me personally, yeah. I think you need to learn, though, when your mental blocks need to be addressed, because resting your mind is just as important as resting your body.
Yeah,
at the end of the day. And
they feed into each other. That's what I was getting at.
They do, but I think some people, if they're mentally not there, then they're physically not going to be there.
Yeah.
Where I can usually push the mental side and just focus on what I need to do.
There's some days when I go to training and like my mental state hasn't been good, and I've gone to training and it's improved it a lot, and I come out of training and I'm like, yeah, that was great. I'm so glad I went. And then there's other times when you're like, I feel even worse.
Yeah, I've definitely done that. Man, there's been some days where I've left so quickly because you're just like, I can't deal. I don't want to talk to anyone. This is just, I felt like I got beaten up. I felt like I didn't understand what was going on. Yeah. And it's a frustration when you don't understand the technique that was taught in the day. And I think when your mental state goes down, it's like you've had a bad day. You come into training, you train with the shit person. Yeah. You don't get the technique. And it's like not just one thing that hits. It's several things. And then you come out of it going, you know what? Screw this day. Yeah. I should have stayed home.
That's it. I'm out. Fuck it.
Pretty much. But other days you go in, you get your training partner, you nail the technique, your rolls just feel awesome, and it's brought you out of whatever funk the day had brought. Yeah. So I think there's other contributing factors.
Yeah. I've talked to like a couple other people recently that like higher belts even, and I find it interesting that they still have shit days too. Because I think, you know, when you're a white belt and a blue belt, you sort of, you think that, you know, that's kind of the roller coaster where you have good days and shit days and bad, you know, all that. But then, like, you kind of, in your head, you're like, when I get to a higher level, I'm just going to be invincible and everything's going to be great. And, like, I'm always going to be on form, or, like, I'm always going to know what to do. I'm always mentally going to be wanting to train. Yeah. Because you look at people who are, you know, purple, brown, black belts, and you go, BJJ is their life now. Yeah. And so they're so thrilled to train all the time. They love it. They live it. All that sort of thing. And so you kind of don't expect them to have those same blocks that we do. But, like, I've talked to some and they're like, some days they're just like, yeah, I just was not on form today, or, like, wasn't feeling it and that sort of thing. I'm like, yes, it's not just me. Like,
I didn't even think of asking that question, hey?
No, it's
That's a really good question.
Yeah. Because, and it feels a lot better because you go, oh, well, like, it's not just being a white belt or a blue belt that sort of thing happens. And, you know, as you still move up, you're going to have those days still where you roll with someone that's the same rank as you and you feel slightly under par from them and you just, like, have a little bit of a sulk about it. And you sort of ulteriorly question, you're like, am I better than them? Do they best me? And you're like, I'm pretty sure I get them on a good day. But you're like, but no.
I'm not as competitive as you. You know that.
I'm just kidding. I don't actually think that. No.
That's the thing I've learned. You play devil's advocate though.
No, that's what I'm doing. I don't literally compare myself to every other blue belt at our club and be like, am I better than them or am I worse than them? And I put us all on a scale of who's from best to worst.
She actually has like this scale in the room behind the door.
We line up for the reishi. Like, it's just like you have to line up in Joe's order of who's better and worse than her. And it doesn't matter about stripes because we don't have stripes on our blue belts. It's like, in my head, I'm like, I beat you very well. You're catching me. You're slightly better than me. Fuck, he subbed me the other day. And they're just in a certain scale.
That's all I'm going to think about now.
I know, every time we line up, you're just going to be like, go win or whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
I wonder how many other schools really do like the reishi and stuff.
I was just about to say that. I've never
been to another place that has done it.
No. The reishi is a tradition that Chris has brought down through his...
Japanese jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Oh, not Japanese jiu-jitsu. Japanese martial arts.
Yeah. So he's brought that to his school. Yeah. And so on our traditional gi nights...
Yeah.
It's about respecting...
A system for respect and
yeah.
all that. So you respect the teacher, the dojo, and the training partners and stuff like that.
It's really cool. And I think the reaction of people coming into it is really cool. I love seeing people's reaction when they've come from another gym.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck do we have to do?
They're like super awkward about it.
Because they don't want to be disrespectful. Because you
Yeah.
can see that it is a tradition and it's an honoured thing to be doing. And it's an honour to be a part of it as well. So it's...
I love that when I first started it. I loved when we did the reishi. It made me... Because I've always been fascinated with, like, history and... what's the word, anthropology and that sort of stuff. So when you have something like the reishi that's like a traditional way of showing respect and all that sort of thing, like for me, I was just like, oh, this is such a cool cultural little nugget, and I loved being a part of it. And like I secretly wanted to be Asian when I was little. I don't know why. I just wanted to be Asian.
Well, apparently you look Asian. So.
I know, because I was like, I'm, borderline there sometimes, But, like, I loved, like, House of Flying Daggers and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So when I was, like,
You're such a nerd.
I know. When I first went to Mitsu and they did it, I was just like, oh, I feel so traditional. It's great.
It still freaks me out. I say it in my head every single time, and I've had to say it a couple of times, and it freaks me out every single time because I'm not sure, like, don't stuff it up. Don't stuff it up.
Leading the reishi, yeah.
And now it's just like, is it any other higher belts going to be here today?
You're like, please don't meet me.
I don't want to do it. Which the stupid thing is, I am so comfortable public speaking, talking in front of a crowd, but that freaks me out
because it's such a respect thing. You want it to have a certain structure and you want it to go smoothly and all that sort of thing. You're like, fuck, I don't want to mess this up and sound like a douche.
And Chris just, how he says it, I don't know. It's just no one can beat how he does the reishi.
Yeah.
I just think it's such a cool thing.
Yeah.
I like when someone did a video and they did it in like slow-mo and then like sped up. It was so cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I'll have to try and dig it out for you.
I want to see this.
It's pretty cool.
There was like a long period there where, and it was even when I got back, but I missed out on like so many of the group photos. So like we did the one where like everyone like lined up and like the one that's on our website and all that sort of stuff. That was actually when I think that's when I got back, but I wasn't there that day and I missed out. And I was like, what the fuck? So there's like, I'm like being like, oh, I've been a part of this club for a while now, I've been here and there, but there's like no evidence of me anywhere.
Well, there is. Slowly, like, our Instagram's going to have like these.
That's true. There's a lot of my comp videos on there.
Yeah.
Now, so,
Kicking ass. Anyway, we were going into the injury realm of things.
Yes.
And something that I wanted to kind of talk about is I broke my wrist and I let it... I'm still actually not sure how it happened.
Because it wasn't like a full-on like impact, snap, bam, I broke my wrist. It wasn't like one of those moments where you're like, holy fuck, I broke my wrist. It was like kind of snuck up on you a bit.
It was. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's like a cartilage I can't even remember what it is now that I broke, or tore, the way you want it, but it was broken. But I think it was like it was weak from hairdressing, and then striking and stuff on top of that made it a problem.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure of the ins and outs of how it happened, and I just kind of kept pushing it aside, going, tape it, it'll be fine, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then 9 months later, I had an MRI, and they were like, yeah, it's holding on by a thread. You need to have surgery. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, right.
But I rehabbed everything to a point where I could do a pull-up with
that was
it
cool,
bad.
Actually, because I got back from France right after you had the surgery, like probably a month after you had the surgery, I think, and I got to watch your rehab process and the way that you managed it, and that was really cool.
So I was lucky in that sense that I could mentally prepare, and I actually physically prepared for the surgery because I had strengthened that wrist and that arm to the strongest it was going to be.
Yeah.
I did all those small movements and small exercises that I needed to do to get it to a point, and it was still fairly strong.
Yeah.
And I kind of came into it as like, I have to do this. I have to fix my body and just get it done. And I made a plan for myself of how I was going to deal with it because I don't sit down. I don't... I struggle. I really struggle to not be a part of something and sit on the sidelines. It's not me.
Yeah.
And I was lucky that I had people, my doctors and my physios and specialists, they all knew that my personality and what I was going to do. And I never planned to put anything at risk, but I wanted to make sure that I was always pushing the limits and not letting... that it's
not too like complacent with it.
Yeah.
Because I know there's some people who go through injury who don't do their rehab properly and they end up with like range of motion issues and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're on the bottom end of the scale of that healing process where like it's like less able, that joint or whatever it was.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that I came back stronger than when I left, essentially. Yeah. That was my mind frame that went into it all.
Yeah.
And do your rehab, like... Make sure that's a priority. As much as you go and brush your teeth, you do your exercises. I can't believe the amount of people that have surgery and don't...
Adherence to those medical sort of advice to rehab and stuff is actually really low, particularly in like younger people and older people, like... you know, like people, like teenagers, I mean, younger, as in like teenagers, and then like older people and... you know, elderly and that sort of thing.
It really surprises me that you would spend all this money to fix a problem and just think that it's magically going to get better. It blows my mind for people to go, oh, I had surgery on my knee and now I can't move it. It's like, well, did you go and do like hydrotherapy? Did you do your exercises that the physio told you?
Yeah.
Oh, no? Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And I bounced back faster. I still... They left the cast on me, though, longer, I think about 4 weeks longer, because she was like, I don't trust you. And I was like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I know when you started rolling again, you were really particular about who you rolled with, for one thing, and also the situations that you let yourself get into while you were in rolls. Like there were certain situations where you felt uncomfortable because your wrist was at risk, or you just felt a bit sort of like worried that something was going to happen and you tended not to go there just because you knew that could be an issue. So you sort of, there's a bit of self-preservation there.
I definitely only had, I think, maybe 4 people that I was just like, yeah, cool. Yeah. You're safe to drill with. And there was... When I first came back, so I was in a full elbow cast, so I couldn't move my elbow at all. And so I didn't have any motion.
How long was that on for?
That was on for 4 weeks, I think.
I don't think I saw you with that cast.
I hit it pretty well. Most people, because I had jump, it was over winter as well. So
no,
people...
I mean, because you had your surgery in June, was it?
Yeah.
I got back in like mid-July. So
okay, that's why. So it would have been just off.
Yeah.
And so I went to the gym, and pretty much when I had that elbow cast on, I worked on my legs.
Yeah.
One of my knees was stuffed at that stage. It had a bursa that just kept like blowing up. What I did, it was 100% focused on rehabbing that.
Yeah.
I looked at what I couldn't do and worked on very small increments, and then just went, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I can do this. Like, this is where I started. Let's build on it.
Yeah.
And now it was like, I think once I got my cast off completely, I noticed that bursa wasn't there. Like, all the swelling and fluid is because I'd focused so much on rehabbing my legs. It was the best thing I ever
and you
could
didn't rush it either.
No.
Like, because you just saw them both as a longer process and just put in time into doing the little increments to get it better at the time.
And I've put all my energy into going to the gym. I knew I couldn't do jiu-jitsu, so I was just like, what else am I going to do to keep myself occupied?
Yeah.
I got up early, I went to the gym, and as soon as that elbow cast came off my arm and I could go underneath a squat bar, I would squat like 3-4 days a week.
Yeah.
And my legs got huge. And that was just crazy of feeling how strong you can make your body. At that stage, I reckon I was weighing about probably the same as I am now, 55-ish kilos, 56. And I was squatting 80 kilos.
Yeah. That's
like, awesome. I couldn't do that now, but that is just amazing to go from barely being able to squat the bar, and I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I wasn't great at that.
Yeah.
Then after 4 months, you hit like, actually, like 60 was my warm up.
Yeah.
Some days, like when I started doing more, and you're just like,
See, I can't squat heavy weight much at all because of my knees, but like, it's so funny because like I'm quite a built person and quite strong, but my lower body is just so like I can't squat for shit. Like, it just. Yeah, so I feel like a hell shame when I'm trying to squat at the gym and I'm like, got 20 kilos or something. I'm like, this will do me, fellas. No more.
Look at me go.
I know.
Well, we're not all built to squat. I'm gangly though. Like, I've got long limbs. So I'm not actually built to squat things because my mechanics aren't as perfect. My sister's like a little shorty.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kate.
Sorry if you're listening to this. You're short.
She's shorter than me, though.
Yeah, okay.
And she's just all in proportion.
Yeah.
And she does a mean squat.
Yeah.
And
I reckon that's the girls.
And I'm
girls
just
that
like...
are more proportional, like... They've got, like, good hips and that sort of thing.
I was like, this is embarrassing. You squat better than me. I should be the fit one here and who has perfect technique. You come in, you've done 3 sessions at the gym and have this perfect form. I'm just like, damn you.
Screw you.
But she was like, and I think that was the other thing, like going through rehab, having a rehab buddy, keeping someone accountable to helping you go to the gym and helping you in that little journey is huge, because sometimes you just want to stay in bed and snuggle up. And...
I always want to stay in bed and snuggle up. I'm so not a morning person, but I do want, like, I feel like I should be better at that. We need to work on this. Well, let's just get out of winter first. We've got 1 more day of winter.
I was just thinking that.
Fuck. No, I mean, give it some time.
A week.
Early spring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, because spring mornings are frosty as fuck, especially down here.
True.
Last night was so cold when I got into bed. It was like midnight, and I was just like...
You party animal.
I was so worried because I wanted to put my hot bag like in the thingo, but I was so worried that I'd woken you up, and I felt so bad. I didn't even have a shower, and I'm OCD about having a shower before bed, and I couldn't even have a shower or heat up my heat pack because I was so worried that I'd woken you up at such a stupid hour, and I felt bad.
On a school night.
I know. I just crawled into bed feeling sorry for myself. It was just like, I'm gonna have a shower in the morning, and then I was late for work, so I had to rush up, and I didn't get a shower again. I felt so gross. Oh, that's my little confession done. I felt so gross. Oh,
You must have woken up so salty this morning.
I did. I felt so bad. I felt so horrible because I got home at like 12:30 or something. It was so bad. And then I had to wake up and like bolt out the door as fast as I could. I didn't get to have breakfast or a coffee or anything. And I was like, this is not good for me. And I had to go and look after kids and like get them ready for school.
Oh,
and I was like, oh my God.
That's terrible.
I know.
I feel sorry for you. That's a
was
bad morning.
It was. I was feeling pretty seedy all day, to be honest. But anyway, we made it through. That is why I did not train tonight. Because I had a rough 24 hours.
I didn't train tonight because that's it.
Because
I didn't feel like it's Friday night.
Oh, no, because we had to do this.
And yeah, we've got to have our hangout time and
Yeah.
talk to you lovely people.
Yeah. Usually we do it after training, but it was a bit different. And my gi was in the wash,
Yeah.
where it's been for 3 days.
You're a shit adult.
I know. I left it in there. I forgot about it. Actually, no, I remembered it a few times, but then I was like, I'll do it later. And then later never came. So I had to rewash
why is
it.
life so hard?
I'm so bad at adulting right now. So bad.
But in saying that though, jiu-jitsu is like you have a cool sport, but you have to learn to do your washing all the time.
Yeah.
Because you have a life of freaking washing.
Yeah.
And if you train twice, oh my God, it's even worse.
I know, right?
And then, because we were talking about how in gi, like we wear our no gi underneath our gis, so we have 2 lots of training gear.
I wonder if that's why people don't wear. They're like, oh, one less rashy to wash.
Actually, I probably would if I didn't have as many as I do. And
Like I said, I've got problem with stuff falling out. I'm not willing to risk it. Like, let's just cover all that shit up. Make sure nothing falls out. Because
I don't know. I just
you know what I was really excited about the other day?
What were you excited about?
This is a side note. But I saw that Jess was working on some like little shorts or something that like cover up your muff top and stuff for like jiu-jitsu.
Really?
Yeah, she posted on her story on Instagram, and it's like the muffin stopper or something. I know, and like they're like the little undershorts, and they come up high and like help with that situation. And I was like, shut up and take my money. Because that's amazing. That's exactly what I need. That's like what every girl needs in jiu-jitsu. Why has no one invented this yet? So, you know,
look out.
Get on it. I'm keen. I will buy about 10 of them because I need about 10.
In every colour.
Yes. Oh, I just want black. You can have the fluoro pink ones or whatever. I don't know if they'll have fluoro pink, but you should ask. Just inquire. Be like, hey, I saw your post. Can they be in pink?
Yeah, I do like my pink.
Yeah.
I haven't been quite as much lately though.
Yeah. I still want to get a colourful gi. Like random colour. I don't know. Not pink, obviously.
That's mine. You can't have that.
Yeah, well, exactly. And
no one else is allowed to wear pink. No. Actually, the amount of boys that have threatened to wear my gi is quite funny.
Guys totally get around pink.
They love it.
They totally love an excuse to get around it. They're like, it's a joke, air quotation. It's just as a joke, but it's like inside they're like,
I feel fabulous.
I feel fabulous. Nobody touch me.
But yeah, it's pretty funny. Everyone's just like, I'm going to wear that. And it's just like over my dead body.
What colour do you reckon would be a good gi for me? Green?
I was thinking green.
Yeah.
Not red.
I'm like a green person. When I was growing up, because me and my sister, like, her birthday's one day after mine, but like we're 3 years apart. Anyway, so we'd always get the same birthday present but different colour. She'd like always get like reds and pinks, and I'd always get like green and blue. But mostly it was like her pink, me green.
Yeah.
So like if anyone asks me what my favourite colour is, I'm always like, oh, it's green. But I'm like, is it, or is that just conditioning throughout my whole childhood? Just giving green things all the time.
It's conditioning.
Yeah. But green maybe.
Yes.
I'll keep my eye out for a green gi.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if I might look like a Ninja Turtle, and I don't know.
Khaki green, and then nobody can see you.
Yeah, just like a ninja on the mat, just
randomly jumping and choking
randomly
people.
coming up to like ankle picking people, because that works so well for me every time. But
I saw a video about they made this kid think that he was invisible, like his brother played a prank on him.
What?
And for like 10 minutes, this kid thought he was invisible.
That's amazing. I want to see that
so
video.
funny.
Oh, how good was that video that I watched the other day when I was laughing? Oh my God. I like had to explain to a couple of people about it, and I like showed them the video, and they're like, "It's not that funny," and I'm like, "But I was like crying with laughter. I was sobbing. I actually was sobbing, half of laughter, half crying.
Actually,
I think it was a hormonal response, to be fair. Like, it was just a weird hormonal response that I had. And
I watch it like today. I was
the video of me laughing at it?
Yeah, I was showing my workmates.
Because I was just, literally rolling on the floor laughing. Literally.
And that was like the second time round too.
Oh, I know. The first one was worse.
And it was just... I was laughing at you. I was
I
like,
know.
yeah, it's funny. But...
Yeah, everyone's like, was just like, I don't know what's funnier, like the video of you laughing at the video, like, and just pissing yourself laugh, like losing it over something that's not that funny. Classic me though. I do lose myself laughing over things that aren't that funny. And I have to stipulate, I'm like, it's not that funny. I'm warning you, it's not funny, but I'm laughing like there's no tomorrow. I don't know why.
I get in moods like that it's just one thing that sets me off and I can't stop. And people just like go awkward, especially if it's something being said. Yeah. And then like I fell off my chair.
Like especially like on the mat sometimes when you just have the giggles some nights and you're like, fuck, what is wrong with me? Or like that would be demonstrating a technique and you just get the giggles over something little that your brain's been like, yeah, that's funny. And you can't like, you're like... and your like face is going red.
You know what's worse? When you're thinking it and I look at you and you look at me,
you make eye contact and you're like...
that hasn't happened for a while, actually.
I know. Fuck.
There was a while, actually, I think we've been missing days, so that's why.
Yeah, we're training on opposites.
But that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm always the one laughing.
Yeah,
actually,
I get the giggles a lot. It depends who I drill with. But usually when we drill together, we have the giggles.
Always. That's actually something that I always worry about when I go to someone else's gym, whether they think I'm being disrespectful.
Yeah, no, I worry that too. Because I'm like, I want to be lighthearted and be like, I'm not a serious, like, crazy person. When you go hell stoic, you don't want to be like that stoic person that they're like, well, they're fucking mad or crazy. Yeah. So you kind of go the opposite where you're like super lighthearted and giggly. And you're like, but I don't want to come across as like this, like, bimbo that's like, they're like, shut the fuck up. Just like giggler on the mat. Oh. Lucky I'm not blonde. Sorry.
Fuck.
You're at a disadvantage.
If they laugh at me, I just choke them. No,
I also have a horrendous laugh. And who was it today? Someone was telling me today, they're like, I just love hearing you laugh in that your laugh is funny because it changes depending on the circumstance. And I was like...
It actually does.
I know, depending on what I'm laughing at, the genre of what I'm laughing at. So, like, I have this evil laugh that I do on the mat when, like, someone does something stupid. I'm like... and they're just like, what? And you're like, you just know that, like, you did something. Anyway.
Shit's about to go down.
Yeah. Me and my sister have a fart laugh, too. So, like, when one of us, this is so unkosher, but whenever one of us, like, farts, we just have the same laugh, and it's like that silly laugh that, you know, you're waiting for someone to smell it. Oh, no.
Well, people obviously have no idea that we laugh a lot at all, considering that 50% of our conversation is laughing at each other. You would never guess it.
No, never.
We're so serious.
Absolutely.
We're the most serious people ever.
People think I'm scary, or like people when they first meet me often think that I'm a cunt. Like, I've heard it several times. They're like, when I first met you, like, I full on thought you were a cunt. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
I think
But I'm so awkward when I first meet people. I don't know how to talk to them. So I come off as pretty stoic and just like hell, you know, like, what's the word? Standoffish.
You just have a good resting bitch face.
Yeah.
But that did happen to me as well.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I reckon my years of being in customer service probably has changed that for me.
I was in customer service for ages, but it didn't change anything.
I'm going to say hairdressing puts you in a next level customer
Probably,
service.
yeah.
So
You have to talk to people for at least half an hour sometimes. I only had to talk to them for like 5 minutes.
So I think that like trains you to...
You have to have your game face on.
Yeah.
I suppose the job I'm in now helps that
Yeah.
sort of thing. I'm a lot better at talking to people now because that's part of my job is
I
just
was-
hanging out with people for hours on end.
I was actually only thinking about this exact topic just when I was chilling.
Really?
Yeah. I was thinking how that's changed and how you are more aware of how people perceive you. And I think that's kind of cool to see their development.
Yeah.
Because I remember the amount of people I kind of had in my head, like, I don't want to invest time into you until I know you're a cool person. That was my mentality.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
even kidding.
No, I know. And the thing is, like, the hard thing about that situation is people probably do that to you too.
Yeah.
But because you're standoffish, like, you're both at this, like, kind of, like, impasse where
Yeah.
you're both kind of, like, waiting for someone to break down the barrier a bit. I think that's happened with me with a lot of people too.
And then there's other times that you're just like, we're best friends.
Yeah. Or you're like, fuck it, here's my
Yeah.
whole personality. And you just, like, throw it on them straight away. And you're like, deal with it.
I do notice now, though, I really don't care. I'm just like, this is me, and if you don't like it, I'm sorry.
I think jiu-jitsu did a lot for you in that sense.
Yeah.
Because initially when you first came, you were quite shy or, like, you just didn't really, like, talk to people as much and that sort of thing. But then, like, literally after, like, a couple of weeks to a couple of months, like, you were...
Yeah, here's
Bam,
my...
Hannah, here you go.
This is the real me.
Yeah.
Please stand up.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
It's amazing. That's a cool thing, like, that a sport could do that.
Yeah. I suppose it's the community that comes with it, you know?
It is. And I think people, if other people believe in you, then you believe in yourself. And then that, like, pays forward.
Yeah.
So I try and have that same sort of attitude of giving people that like belief, self-belief as well.
Yeah.
But just be really vocal about it because I don't think it gets
Yeah.
spoken about very often. Everyone thinks, oh, like that was really good or whatever, but they don't say it. And I think because that makes me seem even more like outgoing because I make a conscious effort of being like, your hair looks really good today.
Yeah.
Because you don't usually get a comment for no reason.
Yeah.
It's usually
true.
a bad one first. Or, man, like, how you're moving, so
Yeah.
good. That just beautiful. Your improvements, amazing.
Yeah, small compliments go a long way, I think. I had a friend, actually, an American friend that I made when I was in France, and he was just, like, brilliant at complimenting people. Like, if he noticed something, he'd just comment on it in a nice way and, like, straight away. Like, and it was actually really kind of surprising sometimes and really, like, good. You're like, oh, cheers, thanks, you know. And, like, you kind of don't realize how much, like, people don't do that until someone does it more, and you're like, wow, they're really, like, complimentary. But it's, like, in a genuine way. Like, they weren't searching for something to compliment, but they noticed and said it. So.
And it definitely is how it comes across, because I try and say, if it pops into my head, I try and say it.
Yeah.
And it gets delivered that way, like,
like a spontaneous
Yeah.
sort of like notice sort of thing.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
trying to do that more. I often think things like I'm very like a perceptive, like I see
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, but I don't comment on it. But I'm trying to be more like, like that, where I a bit more observational and then mention what I observe, I suppose, to people.
Yeah.
In a positive way, I mean,
Yeah. Ooh,
Like,
that looks shit.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No. But, I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know. It just kind of popped up. It kind of flowed.
Yeah.
I like being positive. Seems to get you a lot further in life.
Yeah. I've noticed that in recent years. Probably in the last year more so than anything else.
Yeah, definitely. It goes back to having like a positive outlook on an injury.
Yeah.
And just going, well, this has happened. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, sometimes you kind of got to accept your fate a bit,
Yeah.
really, with it. I think with my injuries, I was always too denial-y about them and didn't do anything.
I don't have them.
Oh, man, I was so in denial about some of the stuff that I had with my knees, and the rest of my body started breaking down and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, it'll be fine, it'll get better on its own, or like, you just got sort of tough through it, and you're like, this is just my life now. I've just got fucked up knees and a weird shoulder and all that sort of thing. So that was why it was surprising for me when my shoulder suddenly was fit. Like I think the last 3 months I've had like such a clean run with my body and injuries. I'm like, this is what it feels like to feel on form. Like this competition I did at A gig, the one just passed, was probably the first comp I've done since the beginning where I haven't had an injury. Like I was on physical form for that, and I felt great. And it was kind of relieving, really.
Yeah. And it just shows, like, hard work and patience. Like, it pays off in the end. Rather than just trying to rush it and deny that it's a thing.
Yeah, which is why I need to probably next week book in, see the chiro, see the massage therapist that we see, Dean.
Yeah.
Just to get ahead of it, because I'm noticing, like, my sleep is getting affected.
That's the first thing that goes.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying. And then if you don't get enough sleep, then you can't heal your body properly either. So that fucks everything else up. So, yeah. But yeah, my knees are just getting hell swollen and fluidy and stuff again, and like crunching so bad and stuff. But we did wrestling like 3 days, like consecutive of my training last week, I think, were consecutive like wrestling style rolls. And like that sort of like the knee to mat sort of stuff with stand up kills me, because my bursas are fucked in my knees as well. So I think that was just not good for them. So that's
you
why
need to learn to be kind to yourself as well.
I know. That's why I dialed it back this week though. I only trained Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I'm gonna do tomorrow, and that will be 3 days for this week. But then like I just did stuff like we went for a walk on Monday, and I went for a walk today and stuff. Just stay active, but like low impact stuff.
Active recovery.
Yeah, but because like my shoulder's hell out of whack at the moment too, so I need to go and get that sorted out and get on top of it before it becomes a like more serious issue, which is what I didn't do before.
And that's what you need to do.
And it took literally like I just consecutively see Dean like week after week after week for about probably 6 weeks, I think, like you said, like that 6 week cycle. I had to see him once a week for that 6 weeks. I had to see the chiro every 2 weeks.
I reckon if you accept that anything that you do, you kind of, okay, it's going to take me 6 weeks, so I need to go and see the appropriate people and not expect to be better
after one session. Yeah. And that's why, like, I think it's better to hit it now, like where I go, I'm starting to notice things are getting uncomfortable and breaking down a bit, and I see them now. I'll probably book in for, next week and then the week after straight away, and like just get 2 consecutive things in straight away. And then I go, okay, how's my body feeling now? Reevaluate and go, like, what do you got to do?
I'm so proud of you.
I know, I've come such a long way. Last year I was just like, I've never seen the chiro ever in my life. I know, I've come so far.
Gold
Look
star.
at me. I know, right? Whether or not I make the appointment and I'm like ahead of that, that's another story.
I'm going to annoy
I
you
have
now.
the intention to do it, but
You've told me. Therefore, I'm going to ask you.
You're totally going to nag me about it, aren't you?
That's why you either keep your cards close to your chest with me or tell me, and therefore I'll be that person who's like, have you done it yet?
Yeah.
Come on, please. Right, good.
I get hell uncomfortable making excuses too because I know you can see right through them. Like, I'm trying to justify it, but I sort of just sound so pathetic because even I know I'm lying. Or not lying, I'm just like making stupid excuses. And I'm like, she can see right through it. Damn it.
So, that's what you're going to do first thing on Monday.
That's right, yes.
Unlucky.
Yes. Actually, no, I have to start at 7 a.m. on Monday as well.
That sucks.
Oh, that means I have to get up at like 6:30.
It's not that early.
That is so early for me. Fuck my life. Oh, Sunday I need to have an early night. I just need to, yeah. But knowing me, I'm not going to get to sleep till like midnight or 1 o'clock. Oh well, I will survive. But I probably won't train on Monday night. Because I'm lazy and I will have gotten up early and I'll probably train Tuesday through Saturday.
That will be acceptable.
Yeah. Actually, no. I need to be careful not to overdo it because starting next week, we're 8 weeks out from Pambax.
So you're allowed to have like 2 weeks-ish of being...
entry into comp prep. Yeah. So, and that's it. I don't want to go straight into doing 5 days a week, even though I've been doing between 3 and 5 days a week. Sometimes I've done a couple of double sessions as well. So, but I don't want to go straight into doing 5 days a week. I'd rather do like 4 and do 4 for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then go ramp it up to 5 for a couple of weeks, and then the last 2 weeks go back down to 4, but do them more like intense, I suppose.
Yeah.
Just be smart about it. I don't want to overtrain because I know I did that to myself in the past and that fucked me over. And I was tired for weeks. Like I said, I don't want to come back from this comp because some people hit it really hard, comp prep and all that sort of thing. And they go and do the comp and they completely burn out because they've done this massive fucking, prep situation. They cut a whole lot of weight for it. So following the comp, they're burnt out. They suddenly have to bounce. Their weight bounces back. They feel completely zonked. They might have injury or whatever. And like, I don't want to completely burn myself out, fuck myself up, and not be able to go straight back into training after comp.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have like a period of time where I've done a comp and then I go, fuck, I literally need like a couple of weeks off because I'm so
it's
rooted.
not beneficial.
Yeah.
Beneficial.
I want to be able to finish the comp and probably literally go straight back into training that following week.
Yeah. Which is, it's doable.
Yeah. But that means that you just have to have a very smart comp prep. Too many P's. I think it's probably time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But, Hannah, what grinds your ghee?
What grinds my ghee is when you tell someone that you have an injury and then 2 seconds later, when you're like drilling, rolling, they go and grab and like just specifically attack whatever you just said that is injured.
That's malicious.
It has happened to me. I know people don't do it on purpose, but it pisses me off so much.
They're like a goldfish. You tell them and 3 seconds later they've forgotten. They're like, they got tunnel vision, so it's just like they just don't even see it.
I had people, like, when my cast was on, like, it was hot pink, by the way.
Of course it was.
People would, like, latch onto my wrist, and you're just like,
dude, what? This is not here just for show. I do like pink, but I don't choose to wear it on my wrist like this.
And it's kind of, that's what grinds my ghee.
Yeah,
it's
fair enough. Yeah.
Totally understand. And you know what? I don't roll with people if they've got injuries and I don't think I can control what I'm doing. I choose not to roll that person because I don't want to make them any worse.
You know what's interesting? When I was having problems with my knees, because it was both of them, but one was worse than the other. But someone would always, because I used to wear like the compression sort of little bands on them just to help with soften the impact a little bit. And sometimes I'd have both or I'd just have one. It depended on which knee was sore on the day or whatever. And so I was like, that's probably going to look first day really shady. They're like, it's changing knees. And I'm like, it's both of them. But then, like, you know, when you go to roll someone and they're trying to be considerate and they ask you about, you know, any injuries I need to worry about. Is your knee okay? Like, is everything? And you're like, yeah, it's fine, you know, because you're like, I literally have too many injuries and this situation is not really, I can't really describe what's going on, so just roll and I will let you know if there's an issue as we go. Because I got to that point where I got to the point where my body was breaking down quite a lot, that I had several injuries, not just my knees, and I was just like, I just want to roll, like, can we not discuss what's going on with my body? Let's just roll and I'll let you know if there's an issue, so, yeah. Sometimes that was my communicational thing where I was like,
I can't be bothered.
I'll deal. Yeah.
I
will deal. Yeah.
And people would like get off. I got told that I'd like when I tap people to tell them to stop.
Yeah.
Because I like do it with gusto.
Gusto. Yeah.
Because it's just like,
because you're worried. You're like, oh fuck, like
I don't know. It's just like I don't want them to go any further, and I have to get like I'll
an
get
immediate
injured.
reaction.
Yeah, so I want them to be like,
yeah,
hands up.
Yeah,
like, I'm sorry. And I was like, it's fine, but it's just it's funny. People's different styles, and mine's just like, get off me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right, that will do it for us though.
Lovely talking.
Yes. Until next time.
Catch ya.
Bye.